Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the period of the 15th to the 31st of July. It's going to be a bit shorter than the main monthly reads, but that's because it's only covering 2 weeks. So to that end, what I'm going to do is pull 3 cards for your current energy, 3 cards for what's coming towards you, and 3 cards of advice. See if we can't ease the way a little bit. I've no idea if it will tack on to the main monthly read until the cards come down, to be honest. And quite often I forget what I've said anyway. Most times I forget what I've said. So there's a thing. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all the people who turned up for my first anniversary birthday live stream last week. It was lovely to see you. Went on for a full 6 hours. Can barely believe it. It didn't feel like that though. Or maybe towards the end it did. But it was good fun, and thank you so much. And thank you and welcome to all those people who have joined me on Patreon and the channel memberships, which are now open as well. It means the world to me that you would support me in such a way, so thank you. Been having some good crack with my patrons this week. So it's all good. Right. Let's have a look and see. You're going to have 3 cards for Gemini, please. What is Gemini's current energy? Ooh. We've got the 2 of Cups, like that. What is Gemini's current energy, please? 6 of Cups flipped there. Ooh, we've got the King of Earth. That's a card of Taurus in the minor arcana. Let's get one more and have a look. We have the 7 of Skies, which is the 7 of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we've got another 2. We've got the 2 of Earth, which is the 2 of Pentacles in a standard deck. That talks about balance, right? It talks about balancing of your resources in some way. So whether those are internal or external, I can fill in the gaps for you. But it can talk about balancing off, your duties and your responsibilities against being a person, all in your own right. If you've got kids, you know what it's like to sometimes lose your identity in becoming a parent of those children, right? This talks about kind of getting the balance just right, which I like. Or it can be more to do with energetic resources. So it could be kind of like finding your stride with something, right? When you first start something and it seems like you don't know how you're ever going to manage to have energy again because maybe you started a new job and the hours are much longer than you're used to, something like that. It's about hitting that stride, finding your stamina, that kind of thing. Now, the other way, we'll come back to it actually, that's what we'll do. So, the 3 cards for your current energy, like I said, are the 2 of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords. Now, there are a multitude of different ways to read these cards, and so I will try and go through them all and make sure I try and remember to cover them all. The focus is on relationships for you at the moment, Gemini, right? And they can be romantic, but they don't have to be. They could be platonic, they could be family, It's about your interpersonal relationship with someone else, right? Now, the fact that the King of Pentacles is here means that it could be a Taurus. Could be an earth sign of any description, actually. It could be Capricorn or Virgo. Or they could just have it in their chart there somewhere. And there is a possibility that you are kind of looking at the relationship and wondering if you're having the wool pulled over your eyes in some way, because the 7 of Swords can talk about deception, right? That's one interpretation for your current energy. The second interpretation is that you are wondering whether to take a risk on a Taurus, right? Because that's the other interpretation for the 7 of Swords. It's taking a punt on something, basically. That's possible. The other way of looking at it is that you're making some really big strides in sorting out your own environment, right? Becoming your own King of Pentacles. We'll bring you back to this here. Actually, I've just noticed it's directly underneath that, and the shadow card is the 9 of Pentacles, right? And this is a card of self-sufficiency and independence. It's taking care of all of your own needs, right? Paying your own bills, making sure that you've got the resources to do X, Y, and Z, the things that you want to do, right? I'm going to pull one more card, even though I try not to, just to clarify this Seven of Swords and see which way we're pushing it. And obviously this isn't necessarily going to be the same for everyone, but that's Seven of Swords. Ooh. Okay, so that's interesting. What we've got is the Ten of Cups. Now, this pushes it towards you contemplating, you know, getting it together with someone else. It's making that taking a risk, right? Taking a punt on something. Because emotional fulfillment is the order of the day. It's what's on the table here. The reason that I was amused is because underneath the Nine of Pentacles, when I was waving those around, I noticed that Temperance was there, and Temperance is now at the bottom of the deck here. These are cards of Sagittarius, but they talk about healing and sometimes an element of divine orchestration, you know, things just kind of pulling together. And so possibly it might be that you're considering reconciling with someone who has Earth in their chart quite strongly, right? I think we're going to probably go with that as the thing. So let's have a look and see what's coming towards you. You know, we could even see this as you actually trying to assert yourself in a situation that involves another person. Like I said, doesn't have to be romantic, in order that you can bring the best version of yourself to the table, right? It feels like it's a bit of a risk, but it's actually not. You know, it's talking about boundaries, right? The erection of proper boundaries to protect what it is that you are in the process of trying to create in your 3D environment, right? It's good balance. We've got Pentacles and we've got Cups there, right? Let's see what's coming towards you. What's coming towards Gemini, please? Whoa. Right, it looks like there's a bit of toing and froing here. We've got the Four of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, which usually talks about needing to release something, right? It's actually usually throwing a big spanner into the works of the law of attraction. Because for the law of attraction to work properly, you know, you have to let energy move in and move out. And this suggests that perhaps you're clinging on to something a little bit too hard in order that the energy flow doesn't happen, really. And that's kind of borne out by what we see coming towards you, because the first card out is the Eight of Skies. Now, this is the Eight of Swords in a standard deck, and it talks about limiting behavior, right? Self-sabotage, absolutely. But feeling stuck, feeling very frustrated with a particular situation, right? Then we've got the Page of Earth. It's like there's a new start. There's some sort of new thing that you are wanting to bring into your 3D environment. And it's proving to be tricky. There's something about this that is difficult for you. And whether this is the universe throwing spanners in the works for you, giving you opportunities to grow through obstacles and challenges. Let us not forget, it's not about being picked on. But then we've got the Five of Swords, which talks about mismatched communication. Now, we should be coming out of Mercury retrograde very, very soon. And I often see this card come up when Mercury retrograde is in operation. Because it talks about conflict, and quite often it's verbal conflict. So it's how we talk to other people, how other people talk to us. It's kind of how we express ourselves to each other, and it's about kind of not hitting the same point, talking at cross purposes sometimes. But it could be internal, right? It could be you kind of going backwards and forwards on an idea. And if you're feeling stuck because there's a new start in the offing that you want to make and it's not quite coming through for you, then this could be a bit of kind of you employing a bit of mental agility, going backwards and forwards on an idea, trying to find a creative solution to get you out of this energy here. So let's pull another card for the Five of Skies, Five of Swords. Look at that. We've got the Page of Wands and the Five of Wands. That's 2 5s there. It's more conflict. The Page of Wands and the Page of Earth together are desperate to start something new, right? There's a great excitement here about the proposition of starting something new, but it's being in some way kind of kept back from you at the moment. Now, the fact that the Four of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck, maybe it means that there's maybe just something that needs to be let go first. We've got underneath that the Knight of Swords, which is you, Gemini, and the Six of Cups. Now, that says to me there's something about the past that you're still holding on to here, right? That needs to be released. It needs to be let go. And actually underneath that, we've got the Strength card. It's a card of Leo, but it talks about growth, right? And we grow when we release things. Let me get one more card for this Five of Swords. That's Five of Swords. There you are. The Lover's card, which is of course the card of Gemini, but it is the card also of conscious co-creation. Now, one of the ways in which you you do what now? You consciously co-create is by releasing those things that no longer really have anything to do with your life, right? All that they're really doing is limiting you in some way. Now, the other way of seeing this card, and I've seen it quite a lot this way recently, is kind of waiting for somebody to save you, right? Maybe it's the Taurus, who knows? Earth sign at least. It's kind of, and it doesn't even have to be a person. Like, sometimes it can be circumstances. Maybe you're waiting for circumstances to save you, because sometimes we want to make big changes to our lives, but we don't actually want to take the leap to do it for ourselves. Sometimes we just hope that by magic they will change. And the fact is, that's not what happens, right? We alter our environment and our circumstances by constantly looking to, release old things, welcome in new things, and evolve and grow. That's what we do. Now, it looks like, to me, towards the end of July, you kind of get stuck with something, right? You're desperate to start something new, and you'll have to fill in what that is, because I'm not sure. But there's some conflict here. Now, I feel like this is internal conflict, and I feel like this is conflict with other people, specifically, actually. Maybe other people have got an opinion about what it is that you're wanting to do, and you're trying to find ways to get around that without pissing them off or losing friends. That's the thing. But I think on some level, you're keeping yourself stuck as well. And so to that end, this 5, these people who are here are really just reflecting your own energy back at you, Gemini. And this is quite important. And I wouldn't have felt like that necessarily unless were it not for this 8 of Wands, 8 of Swords that is here. Now, the fact that this has come up definitely tells me that you need to make the decisions about what you're doing. Like, don't wait for circumstances to change, right? You take hold of the circumstances and fashion them the way that you want to be. The fact that you've come up here in your own energy means that there is a need for you to be truly authentic to yourself, right? What it is that you want needs to come first. And you need to align your energy in the best possible way to allow that to occur, right? Conscious co-creation. Because I think ultimately it's just you that's keeping you trapped up here. And as I am always saying, there is no stronger cage than that which we forge for ourselves in our own minds. So have a look, see what's holding you back. And don't fall out with these people, because I genuinely do feel like this is the universe kind of trying to show you the ways in which you are keeping yourself restricted. They are just agents of something else, right? Consider it and then release it. Let's get you some advice. Get some advice for Gemini, please. Okay, that's beautiful. Some advice for Gemini, please. Okay, so I've got 3 cards for advice. The first is the Nine of Pentacles, right? You have done a lot. Came up here in your present energy to take care of your own needs, right? Look after your own resources, you know, whatever they may be, whether they're energetic or financial or whatever. Like, you're looking pretty good at the moment, right? Continue along on that vein, because that is you taking ownership of your life and what you are doing, right? It's very strong. The second card is the Four of Skies. Now, this is my meditation card. It's the Four of Swords, right? So if you're not meditating, you should give it a go. And it doesn't have to be, you know, you sitting there chanting Om for an hour. Like, that's not necessarily how you need to do it at all. Find some quiet space, sit down for 5 minutes and just breathe. Count the breaths in and out, and try not to think about anything. If you do think about anything, just bring your attention back to your breath. Like, it feels like your brain needs a bit of time to kind of decompress, because this is busy brain, right? Step it down. Because the objectivity that you will find in your mind when you do that will help you along your way. It will show you where it is that you're kind of keeping yourself trapped. And then we've got this glorious Technicolor card here, which is the Page of Wands, right? It's the same card as we see here. These are both there, right? The one suit is all about living in the moment. If you're truly excited about something and you truly want something to happen, right, you want to make it happen. And I've got this kind of fizzy feeling in my stomach here. Like, look at all the ways in which you're barricading yourself against this new start, right? And just fucking move them out of the way. But you need to manage to be a bit still first to identify exactly what those are before you move forwards, right? So, do I want to leave it there? I'm going to just pull one of these cards. These are really cool. They're Psy cards. I picked them up last week, and they're very, very simple. There's no, you know, truly deep meaning listed in the little white book that comes with them. It's not even a little white book. It's like a little A5 piece of paper with a couple of words on for each card. But they've been surprisingly on point, I found. What else does Gemini need to know? Union. Huh. That's really interesting. The card that's come out is a union. Let's see it there. Which is very much on your mind at the moment anyway. So, I'm going to leave it there, Gemini. Yeah. If you haven't watched the main monthly read, maybe watch that. And there is an extended to that as well, so it might give you a bit more information. But other than that, I shall go away and I shall see you in probably about 2 weeks for August. Right, take care.